We're making book sleeves. We made our bookmarks, the little corner ones. We made some of the tea bag bookmarks. Now we're moving into book sleeves. I wanted to show you a very simple way to do a book sleeve. You can use this same idea, put a zipper in. You can use this to put iPads in. This is a large book sleeve and it is fantastic, like so easy to do. I did put the pockets, so you can see options are no pockets. You can see that I put a pocket and a divider on it, so you have lots of options. This is the perfect gift giving item. If you have a book reader, not only are you going to give them the little bookmark, but you're also going to give them the book sleeve with either a gift certificate for a book of their choice or a book you know they want to read inside the book sleeve. So fun. I'm Cassie. This is 62 Handcrafted. Save this, like it, and come sew with me. This one here is the large. I believe this is what we'll be making today. The cool thing about the large is you can do it either way. You can do it like a little bag, and a Bible fits in here great. Just depends. Bibles come in all kinds of sizes, and I've had a lot of requests for Bible bags. And so you really need to get like the largest Bible you can find and put it in there. And then I've seen some people who have Bibles that are like, this is the binding, but they're coming out like this because they have all the markers and everything marked and safe. So it just depends on the Bible. You'd want to get dimensions if you're doing it for someone specifically. But this fits a pretty good size book. This is, you can see, it's a nice big book. And it fits down in there nicely. This is also good for like an iPad, that kind of thing, just depending on how much padding you put in it. You might want to use a foam padding if you're going to do it for electronics. You can also put zippers on the top of these. There are so many different ways to do a book sleeve. I like to keep things simple, especially for showing that kind of thing. This is a medium. Yeah, so I have a small, a medium, and a large. And literally, I try to do them as easily as possible. Okay, what you're going to need. You are going to need a hair tie. You can get them anywhere. A button. I got mine online, Amazon. You're going to need a pocket piece. Now, this is all dependent on what size you're making. This is for one of my larges. And I think the final on the large is like 11 by 9. And so this is the pocket for that. And it's going to be about, let me open it and I'll just walk you through. I think it's 15 and a half. Yeah, 15 and a half by 10. Okay. Got one pocket. Then you're going to need 2 exterior pieces. These are cut at 12, I believe. Yeah, 12 by 10. 2 interior pieces cut 12 by 10. And then you're going to want to go ahead and do, if you have some fusible batting, fantastic. I am not going to be interfacing my interior pieces. You can, absolutely. If you want a little more stability, go for it. And then I've just got some quilt batting. I'm just going to do a couple of squiggly lines over the top to attach it to the exterior and not worry about the interior because this is not a reversible book cover, sleeve, whatever. And that is it. It's pretty basic. It's really easy to do. Let's get to it and let's make one. I quilted the batting onto, and I just did 3 lines so that it will stay in place as I'm moving through this book sleeve project. I just don't want it to be moving around. Then I took my pocket that I'm going to use. This is the one that is 10 by 15 and a half. And I literally just did a top stitch across the top because that's going to be where the pocket, it's just folded over and that's going to be the top of the pocket. And I just want to make sure it looks finished and it looks pretty. And I just like it because it's a little more polished look. And we aren't going to worry about putting any of the side pieces on, like I'm not putting any tabs or any of that because I am putting the pocket on here. You could, if you wanted to, like stitch down the middle and make it like 2 pockets. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll go ahead and do that. Right? Should we? One side for the phone and one side for all the things. Sure, let's do it. Okay, so we have a little like 2 pockets there. Basically, when we go to put all of this together, it's just going to be stitched in to the side. So we're not going to worry too much about that. So the next thing we're going to do is grab our other top piece and we are going to attach our little hair tie to that. I do know that the center is right here only because I stitched starting in the center and I have a little fold line. So you want to measure and make sure you've got the center marked so that you can attach this. We're just going to take it at about 1/4 of an inch from the top. This is just to hold it in place until we sew everything together. And we're just going to stitch over it. And we're just going to back stitch several times. Just going to go over it. So it really holds it in place. And I'll show you what that looks like here. Cut all these little threads off. And that's it. And you do want it to go down in because then once you sew everything together, it's up like this and it'll come around to the front where you're going to have your button on there. All right, so that's the next step. And then we are going to put this together. The next thing we need to do is grab one of your lining pieces and you're going to put, get that out of the way, you're going to put your lining piece on top of your exterior piece and you're doing pretty sides together. I should have ironed this. I did not. It's okay. All right, we have our pretty sides together and we're just going to do about 1/4 of an inch stitch across the top. Okay, put that in there. We are going to back stitch. Like I said, there are a lot of more elaborate ways to do a book sleeve, but this is probably one of the easiest. And then you're going to get your second piece, bring your exterior and your interior pieces. You're going to do pretty sides together. Again, lining up. Get it all lined up. And again, when I go over this little tie, I am going to give it a couple of stitches back and forth. And we are going to do it at 1/4 of an inch, 2.5, back stitch. And when we come to that, we're just going to, probably could have slowed down. Ah, I'm caught in my apparatus there. My video camera stuff. Okay, go ahead, finish this off. And same thing here. We're just going to give that a little finger press down out of the way. And then you are going to lay your pieces all together. You're going to do your 2 exterior lined up and you're doing pretty sides together. Making sure to get your pocket in there. All the pieces matched up. I'm probably going to clip a little here just because I want it to look good. And then we got a little up there. Okay. And we'll do a few clips. I am going to mark a little spot where I want this to, where I'm going to pull through and where I'm going to close off. And I like to do it semi-close to the top. So we're going to go probably about here and here. Should be able to get everything through that. We'll find out. We will find out. All right, so then what that means is I'm going to start at the bottom of where I'm going to leave that open. And I'm going to do this probably, I want to keep this at about 1/4 of an inch, maybe just slightly over, but you want to think about that's how you measured. So stick to your 1/4 of an inch. If you want to do a 1/2 inch, you absolutely can. You just want to allow for that when you cut. Again, I'm doing a large book sleeve. No, I'm not going to turn. I'm not going to. And honestly, you can do your lining, and I'm going to do that real quick. I'm just going to go back a couple. I'm going to make my lining just a little bit smaller because it'll just be a lot stuffing down in there because you're taking 1/4 of an inch off of that and only 1/4 of an inch off of this. So I tend to take just a little bit more, not quite a 1/2 inch, but pretty darn close. Just to shorten up this bottom a little bit. Okay, we're gonna flip that around. And we'll add our button. And I am gonna go ahead and cut off my corners. All right, I don't have my big scissors over here. I'll use these. Just get your extra off of there. You could also trim if you wanted to, if you've got any sides that are a little big. I'm not doing that today. All right, then we're just gonna reach down in here. We're gonna grab one of these, poke it out. Then we're gonna reach in, grab the other corner, poke it through. And voila, you have almost a book bag. Not a book bag, a book sleeve. It could be a book bag if you're making it with the handles, right? And the handles are really easy. Honestly, I kind of prefer that myself. Just, you could put a snap on it. You could put a tie, make it a little bow, how cute you want to be, all of those things. That's why I say there are so many different ways you could do this. I just wanted you to have the basic version. This one is easy to do. It's a great one. They can be so cute. You can make them personalized, like, depends, like if you're gifting them and you want to embroider somebody's name on there, yes, do that. I just think that would be so cute. I'm going to take just a second and push, because this is like 3 pieces of material, 2 pieces of batting, and just use my chopstick to kind of push that up. All right. Again, I just like to know that that seam has been pushed out. Then we're going to give this a little tug. And I could go over and put my orange thread on it, which I think I'm going to do, because it'll just disappear. So we're going to slide over here and bring that back over here. Now see, I always forget, my Juki does not do that bird's nest thing on the back, but this girl does. So I have to clean that up real quick because we don't like that. Okay, then you're going to take this, you're going to pop it in. Roll it. This is when you can take it and press it. And just getting your little corners popped back out. And then just kind of roll it down in there. Oh, so cute. I love this fall material. All right. I will always start on a seam. All right. We are just going to start right there. And I'm going to hold those so they don't bunch all up. And I'm just doing this at 1/4 of an inch. There's nothing that I'm closing off. Just gonna go slowly around. And then the only other thing you need to do is attach your button, and I hand sew that on, and you are good to go. And I'm just going to put my push all my material down in there, and then I just kind of line it up and think about, I have a 2-hole button, and how far down do I want that to come? Probably not too far. It's just really meant to keep it closed in case you have anything in there, keep the book from falling out. All right, so this stitch line I know is the center, so I'm going to go ahead and center that up. And I'm going to go down. Do I want to go down a whole inch? Like that's going to be down there? Perfect. Yes, I do. We're going to mark that. We're going to put our little buttonhole. Ooh, I need there. We're going to put it right there. And I have to find needle and thread. Oh, I have a needle right there. I'm just going to grab a little thread and sew my button on. And then I will take this and I'll go ahead and just lightly underneath that material, I just push the needle up through, and then I'll cut that off, and it will just be in that lining. No little ends, but I do have to cut off where I started. Had a little bit of a tail. We're going to cut that off. And then once you have your book in there, so cute. You got little pockets, all the good stuff. And let me grab, I think this book will fit in here. I can't remember if I did the large or the medium. I did the large, so you can see that's a good size book. Fits in there great, and you've got your little closure. Honestly, that's just so cute. I love it. That's it. That's your book sleeve tutorial. Super easy. I encourage you to make them and then give out the little book corner. I don't know where it went. It's here somewhere. Put the little book corner piece with it, and you can tuck it in the pocket and just kind of have it sitting out. Sell it as a twofer or give it away and put a book in it. There you go. Have a great day, and I will see y'all soon.